good afternoon, everyone. So it's finally come to this week. You've already endured for so long your SPM, and now we finally come to the final week of SPM, where you're going to face one of your science papers, okay, biology. So for most, it will be the last paper, okay. So some of you will have a few days off to revise your biology. Okay, so today I'm taking the opportunity to have a short little class just to recap some of the things which are important. So first of all, I'm going to go through, for today's lesson, I'm going to explain chapter 14, form 4, which is on locomotion and support. Okay, so some students find it difficult, and I do put in some questions where it is hot questions, in case they ask questions like this. These answers you will not get from the textbook, okay, but these answers are perfectly logical, and they should be able to be will be able to give you some good marks. Okay, so I'm going to start straight away. Today's class will be very short, okay, because I know that you need time to study. I will not take longer than half an hour. All right, okay. So I'm going to silence my computer, my phone first. It's making some noise here. All right. All right. Okay, so let me share screen. All right, okay, so this is the second in the series. Tomorrow I have another one, same time, which is at 4 p.m. I will share with you some more questions on a different topic. So today it is on, I think you see from your thumbnail in my YouTube channel there, it is for support and movement, okay, chapter 14. So what are the things that you need to revise in this chapter? Okay, just to recap now, remember this is not soalan ramalan. I never do soalan ramalan, because number one, it is not reliable. Okay, I'm not directly in the what you call the the panel penggubalan soalan. So I do not know the questions. So do not take this as a ramalan, but take this as if the questions come up from this chapter, what are the things that you should not forget? Okay, so number one is the musculoskeletal system of humans. What do I mean by this? You need to know what are the bones that are in the axial skeleton and in the appendicular skeleton of the human body. Okay, you need to know what are the components of axial and appendicular. So I'm not going to revise that for you. Okay, if I do that, it's going to take more than 2 hours. All right, so I'm just telling you what you need to study. So after the class, you can go ahead and read through that. Okay, and then very important part of the axial skeleton is the vertebral column. Okay, where you have 33 bones. All right, the last, which called the sacral and the caudal, they are fused together. So remember your cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral, and caudal. These are the 5 types of bones in the vertebral column. And you need to know how to differentiate your cervical, thoracic, and lumbar based on signs or based on certain characteristics or structure that you can see. For example, the cervical has got two transverse foramen. The 2 extra holes at the side there are only cervical has. Thoracic and lumbar, they do not have. So that tells you is a cervical vertebra. All right. Then types of joint. You need to give examples. What are the hinge joints? Okay. And what are the ball and socket? Yeah, again, I'm not going to explain here. You should already know. So these are things that you should not forget. Okay. And movement and locomotion, especially talking about the antagonistic action of muscles. You have to use the word antagonistic, okay, the term, because muscles always work in pairs. When one contracts, the other one will relax, not expand. The opposite of muscle contracting is not expanding, but relaxing. Muscles cannot push, muscles can only pull, and the opposite of pulling is actually relaxing. That means letting it go, right? Not pulling it. Okay, so what are the movement and locomotion that you must remember? If they ask you about the human arm, then you must not forget to talk about your biceps and your triceps. The name of the muscles are important. You cannot omit. Okay? If you omitted, that will be no marks for you. You need to know the name of the muscles. Where is the bicep? Where is the tricep? You also need to know how to label it in case it comes out in the structure. Okay, but today I will concentrate on essay, so there's no labeling. All right, number 2, fish. Okay, you need to talk about the muscles, the myotone muscles, which will contract and relax alternately. on both sides of the body, the right and the left side of the body of the tail or the body, that will cause the tail to be pushed backwards, either to the right or to the left, to push the water backwards so that the fish can go forward, okay, creating a forward movement, or we call a thrust. Okay, next, bird. When you talk about bird, right, of course, the movement is the locomotion is flying. So you need to have it has to be strong, muscles, the breast muscles. They are the pectoralis major and pectoralis minor. Make sure you know how to label which is the one that is major, which is the one that is minor. The major is always the bigger one. There will be two muscles there, all right, in the diagram. If they ask you to, bigger one is always the major, the smaller one is the pectoralis minor. Okay, and then of course, don't forget antagonistic. For all of these, the four of these, you have to mention the antagonistic action. Which one contracts, which one relaxes at the same time. And then the opposite movement, the one that just contracted now must relax. And the one that relaxed now must contract. Okay, earthworm, you have to mention the longitudinal and the circular muscles. Okay, which one contract, which one relax, what happened to the body shape? Either become long or become shorter. Okay, afterwards I'll explain. There's one question on this. Okay, health issues. Okay, don't forget, this is also very common. You might get questions that looks very logical, looks very easy, but you may not get the points to answer. So I'll tackle that today. Okay, osteoporosis, osteomalacia, arthritis, scoliosis. These are the common problems related to the musculoskeletal system of the human body. Okay, make sure you know what it's all about. And lastly, maintenance of healthy musculoskeletal system. How do you maintain your body so that you don't injure yourself, especially when you carry heavy weights? What is the correct method to carry heavy weights? Okay, and that's one of it. And what about exercising? What must you do to prevent injury? Okay, so this is the questions that I'm going to go through today. All right, okay, let me see if there are any questions. I will proceed. Yeah, okay, no questions, so I will proceed right away. Now, question one, all right, this one looks straightforward, very straightforward, because it's nothing to do with what you call KBAT. It is all facts. So if you are given this kind of questions, the human forearm movement, they will all either give you folding the arm is called flexing, and then straightening the arm is called extension. Okay, so flexing, bending is flexing, straightening is extension. Okay, so explain how bending and straightening of the forearm takes place. Now you see, involving muscles, tendons, ligaments, and bones. I purposely underline these four words because if they mention these four particular structures, you must mention them. Otherwise, you will lose your marks. So here, 10 marks. Okay, so make sure in your essay, whatever you write, you must talk about the muscles. And don't forget your bicep and triceps. Tendon also you must mention. What is the function of tendon? When muscles contract, it transmits the pulling force to the tendon, and that pulls the bone. Name the bone also, ulna and radius. Okay, let's look at the answer. Well, now I have my answer in also Dwi Bahasa. So people who are doing it in BM, don't worry. All right, later on you just pause the video. You can watch it again. You can copy down the answers. Okay, now you have to talk about it in two aspects. First of all, the first diagram is on bending or flexing. So semasa pembengkokan, you draw a right one paragraph. This is not comparing. So it's perfectly fine for you to do paragraph, one paragraph for flexing, another paragraph for extending. Okay, so during flexing, the bicep muscles will contract and the tricep muscles must relax. Okay, you need to know which relax, which one contract. Cannot be opposite. All right, and then when that happens, the pulling, right? The pulling force is created by the bicep muscles contracting. So this will be transmitted, that means passed on to the radius because your bicep is connected to your radius. So it will pull your radius upwards. Okay, the next point is it needs to go through the tendon. Tendon is the tissue, right? The connective tissue which joins muscle to the bone. If you don't have tendon, no matter how hard your muscle pull, it cannot pull the bone up. There's no use of, you cannot move any part of your body if you don't have a tendon. Your muscle can contract, but it's pulling nothing. Okay, it must pull the muscle up. It must pull the bone up. All right, so as a result, the radius is pulled upwards, and therefore you will bend your arm, right? Now, but don't forget, you need to talk about ligaments also. What is the function of ligaments? Ligament is a connective tissue that connects the bone to bone. So you have the ulna, radius, humerus, they are all together, they are bones. They are connected together because of ligaments, and that enables the radius and ulna. Name the bone, radius and ulna is your lower arm bones, two bones there, to be pulled upwards. Okay, so and then lastly, the forearm is bent at the elbow. So here, all right, you already have all the points for flexing. Now don't forget, you need to talk about extending, or we call it extension, extending or straightening. Semasa meluruskan lengan. Another set of answers, all right, roughly the same number of marks. The tricep muscles, now the opposite. You write whatever you write just now, you change it. You do the opposite. Just now was bicep contract, now it's by tricep contract. Okay, and the bicep will relax at the same time. Just change it, reverse it. Okay, and this exerts a pulling force which is transmitted to the ulna, not the radius. Pulling up, your bicep will pull the radius up. But you want to bring your arm down, you have to have your tricep pull the ulna down. Okay, don't talk about radius. Radius will be wrong. So ulna is the bone at the bottom. The radius is the bone at the top, all right, at the top of your arm. So now it is the ulna being pulled downwards. So through the tendon again, okay, if you don't write this, is still all right because we already given your point for the earlier one. They won't give your marks 2 times. The same point will not be awarded twice. Okay, you can write also to makes logical sense, but no point will be given again because it's the same point. Okay, as a result, the ulna is pulled downwards, so your arm will be straightened. At the same time, you must talk about your ligaments. The ligaments holding the ulna, radius, and humerus together enable the radius and ulna to be pulled downwards. And lastly, the forearm is straightened. Okay, so you're seeing 10 marks here. So roughly about 5-5. Okay, but let's say what happens if I only mention one part, which is the bending. I forgot to say the extending, or I don't know how to write the extending. Okay, you will not get your maximum. Okay, you will only get 9 marks maximum. You must have at least 1 point from both sides. Okay, so you will get, you see that 13 points here, definitely easy for you to get at least 8.9 marks. All right, okay, no questions. Let me go on to the second question. So that is a standard question that is quite popular. It has come out before, asking you to explain the mechanism of extension and flexing your what they call the lower arm. Okay, second question. Diagram 2A, 2B shows the locomotion of Earthworm and Grasshopper. Okay, I mentioned I'm going to explain this. So this one is, they give you the stimulus is the diagram, right? Diagram of the Earthworm. You can see certain parts are a bit fatter, certain parts are a bit thinner. It is because of the contraction, the alternative contraction, rhythmic contraction of the circular muscle and the longitudinal muscle. Otot membujur dan juga otot, what you call otot, the term is written there. Otot keliling, last time we call it otot keliling. Otot membujur, otot keliling. Okay, here is the grasshopper. So now explain the adaptation. So I underline adaptations. What does it have? Mechanism is, you must explain how it works. Okay, what kind of muscle it has. And mechanism is talking about which one contract, which one relax to cause the movement of the body. Okay, for Earthworm and Grasshopper. So again, here 10 marks. So maybe roughly you divide into half, 5 marks each one. Okay, and again, you want to get full marks, make sure you have at least 1 point from both. Okay, you cannot be talking about just one animal. Both mesti ada cakap, mesti ada point. Okay, let's see. Let's talk about the, what do you call, the cacing tanah or the earthworm first. So what does it have? It has the type of skeleton is called hydrostatic skeleton. Okay, this is the adaptation now. And then it is because of the changes in the pressure, the water, the liquid, liquid inside there that enables the movement. Okay, it creates the kind of pressure. So you got to contract, the body will contract and relax, and that pushes the body forward. Okay, Earthworm has segmented body which contains the kita or kite. It is like the bristles at the bottom, at the belly there, at the bottom, facing the ground. It is to grip the ground. Once the body is extended, it will not go backwards. Okay, untuk mencengkam tanah. Okay, to prevent the body from moving backwards when that part contracts, when that part of the segment, all right, that part of the body becomes shorter, so it may be pulled backwards. Okay, next. And what is the adaptation? Always talk about this word. It has a pair of antagonistic muscles. For all the animals, the human, the earthworm, the fish, and also the grasshopper, you have to use this word antagonistic muscles. Okay, so for earthworm, it's not bicep and tricep. That is for human arm. It is circular muscle and longitudinal muscle. So otot lingkar dan otot membujur. Okay, otot lingkar is the one that goes around. It's circular. It goes around and round the cylinder of the body. The otot membujur or longitudinal from the top of the head to the back. Okay, longitudinal. So it's long. So what happens when it contracts? Which one contracts? All right. If you want to talk about moving forward, the circular muscle will contract. So the body becomes, you look at my hand here. So when it contracts, the circular muscle will become, it will just sort of like the diameter of the body will decrease. The body will become thinner, isn't it? Look at my hand. See? So this is the, let's say, before it contract. All right. So once it contract, what you call the circular muscle contract, you see, it will become thinner. So when it becomes thinner, it will push the body forward. It becomes longer. The body becomes longer. At the same time, the longitudinal muscle must relax to allow the circular muscle to create that kind of movement. Okay, so when this one presses, that one has to relax. If both are contracting at the same time, there will be no movement or there will be no changes in the body length. Okay, so next one. So when it, okay, the earthworm, when this one, the circular muscle contracts, longitudinal muscle relaxes, the earthworm become longer and thinner. So the body is extended forward. Okay, one part of the body, not the entire body, it goes segment by segment. Maybe the front part is extended forward. Once it's extended forward, the kita will grip the ground. Okay, because the next movement will be, this part just now become longer, now will become shorter. So once it becomes shorter, it may be pulled backwards. So the kita is to grip it. Okay, so when the next stage, after it extended, now that part, the circular muscle now will relax and the longitudinal muscle will contract. Okay, otot lingkar mengendur, opposite lah, right? Otot bujur mengecut. Now the body, look at this one, my hand. Now it becomes like this, so thin. Now the diameter, the otot lingkar circular muscle relax, it becomes fatter, bigger. Okay, and the longitudinal muscle will contract, it makes the body shorter. So now the body of the earthworm becomes fatter. All right, shorter and thicker or fatter lah. So it is like when you see the earthworm move, it's like elongated, longer than shorter, longer and shorter. It is like, contracting, relaxing. It's like pushing itself forward. Okay, so last sentence to write here is, you talk about the rhythmic, that means berselang-seli. Okay, berkala, just alternate. Rhythmic contraction and relaxation of both the muscles. Circular muscle and longitudinal muscles will move the earthworm forward. Okay, so you see, you only need 5 points for the cacing tanah. Okay, and you got definitely double that. You got 10. Write any 5, and you have a good essay. All right. So next one, look at the grasshopper. Okay, this will be too fast for you. Please look back at the video afterwards. You pause it, then you can copy that. Okay, now for the grasshopper. What kind of adaptation? It has exoskeleton. So the outside is the protection made of chitin, the material for this insect, and the muscles are attached on the inner side of the exoskeleton. All right. So It has a pair of long legs. Okay, they jump. Grasshoppers, besides flying, what they do is they are able to jump. It's got strong legs, muscular hind legs. Hind leg means kaki belakang. And what kind of muscles are inside there? They are also antagonistic. Don't forget to say the word. And they are called flexor, extensor. So flexor is the muscle that, why they call it flexor? Very simple. Flexor is the muscle that when it contracts, it will make the body, the limb, the leg or the hand, it will bended. It will become bent. That's called flexor. For extensor, when the extensor contracts, it will straighten it, meluruskan anggota badan. Okay, so when the flexor muscle contracts and the extensor muscle relaxes, now this alone will give you a mark because you mentioned the action. Put them together. All right. So what happens? The hind legs are folded in a Z shape. So before they jump, they have the hind legs are in a Z position, right? Z shape. They are folded in preparation for jumping. Okay. Now that is when the flexor contracts. Now they're ready to jump. When you want to jump, you have to push the ground. So now the extensor will contract and the flexor will do the opposite, which is to relax. Okay, and that causes the leg to be extended, to be straightened. So when it straightens, it pushes the ground. So when it pushes the ground, like Newton's third law, right? You push something forward, that thing will push you back, right? Okay, so you have the opposite reaction now. The force will be pushed, will allow the grasshopper to be pushed upwards. So this propels, okay, or pushes the grasshopper forwards and upwards into the air. All right, so we're talking about the jumping motion. There won't be any question about flying. Don't worry, flying is for the bird. Okay, this for locomotion of insect is only for the legs only, jumping action. Okay, any 5 points. So this one is not KBAT because these are all straight facts from the textbook. So I'm telling you how to answer them. You have to talk about the contracting and relaxing, okay, and the action. All right, okay, clear. So we go to the next question. No questions here. I'll be brief. All right. Now this is applying. Now this is a bit of KBAT, right? Because you don't get these answers in the textbook. You don't get these answers. So the way of we call it taking care of your musculoskeletal system is looking after your vertebral column, looking after your entire skeleton. So one of the ways is how to carry a heavy object. Okay, now A shows the correct technique, B shows the wrong technique. Okay, so this is something different. You won't get this straight away from the textbook. So question is, correct technique is you must bend the legs, not bend your back. You can see the back is kept straight. Okay, your back is straight, right? But this is bent. Your back is bent is wrong because when your back is bent, you're stressing that muscles in your vertebral column, and those muscles are very weak. Okay, so legs are bent. Look, I underline this because you have to explain this why. Feet placed apart. Why is it good to place your feet apart? Talk about stability. Back is kept straight. Why? The object is carried low and near to your body. Okay, how does this technique, that means all 4 of these, so mention how does this prevent injury to your musculoskeletal system? And what part will be injured? Okay, so answers. So the technique, this technique, the correct one, causes the weight to be lifted using the stronger muscle of your body. The stronger muscles of your body are your legs and the buttock. Okay, buttock is, buttock very firm. Buttock is a lot of muscles there, all right, which are very strong. So don't put the weight of your object onto the back. The back is very, the muscle is not very thick. For your back, they attach to your lumbar. Okay, so that is the first point. So this prevents lifting by using the weaker muscle of your body, which are the back muscles. Your back muscles is not as strong as your leg muscles or your buttocks. Okay, so don't bend your back when you hold the object up. You will find you will have back pain. All right. So using the weaker muscles can lead to injury All right, injury of where? You can cause back pain, slip disc, all right, in the vertebral column, or we call kecederaan pada cakra rawan. In between the vertebral column, there is a disc here, all right, in between here to absorb shock, all right, to make sure that it is smooth lah, so that you minimize the friction. So if you accidentally use too much power there or too much stress on there, you would have sort of like terselio, your disc here could be what you call dislocated. That is very painful. And back, don't play. It is your spinal cord is there. It will then, if your spinal cord is dislocated, you can be paralyzed. Okay. Then next point, talking about placing the feet apart. So every point that I mentioned there, you have to talk about it if you want your full marks. So placing the feet apart. Why? Widens the base area. This one your lower form science. Okay, opening the base area is more stable, increased stability. Right? And then carrying the object low near to the body also increases stability because it lowers the center of gravity. Okay, all these are scientifically based. Okay, if you are able to write this, your essay will be very good. Okay, not just talking nonsense on it, goreng. So say based on the facts. Okay, these are the facts that if your knowledge is good about science, you will be able to more or less write all this lah. Okay, so this technique reduces the stress placed on your muscles or the joints, so you don't get injured so easily. So remember, always keep your back straight. You bend not your back, you bend your legs when you lift things up. You see the weightlifters for the Olympics and all that games, how do they lift their body? Back is straight, leg is bent. Okay, see how they lift the very heavy dumbbell. Okay, next question, question 4. All right, we are coming to the second last question. So, talking about injuries, they frequently occur among athletes who engage in vigorous exercise. So, explain what precautions should be taken. So this one you don't have in the textbook, all right? I'm sure teachers, we are all rushing towards finishing the chapter 14. We won't have time to tell you all this, right? Because we're rushing the important parts. So what are the precautions when you do rigorous exercise? Langkah berjaga-jaga, 5 marks, at least 5 points. You write more. Anything yang tak kena, don't worry. No marks deducted. Write as many as you can. All right. So there are many answers. Okay, precautions to be taken. You must do stretching first. Okay, you loosen up the muscles. Do stretching before and also after your exercise. Okay, light stretches. You loosen the joints, loosen the ligaments and all that, so that you are less prone to injury. Okay, to prevent muscle cramp, increase the flexibility of your ligaments, because the ligaments is the part that joins your bone and the bone. The joints there, you have the ligaments holding the bones together. Without ligaments, your bones are disconnected. Okay, you cannot move because you cannot articulate one bone with another bone. Okay, next, warm-up activity. Okay, memanaskan badan. So you have to do simple running on the spot. You warm up your body first. Why? You increase the breathing rate, increase the heartbeat, increase the blood circulation, any of these points, to prepare the body for exercise. Okay, because when you exercise later, definitely all this will increase. So you won't be immediately increased, then your body cannot take it. You slowly increase the heartbeat when you do light warming up exercise. Okay, do slight warming up. Don't go in 100% out. Okay, drink enough water at regular intervals. Stay hydrated. If you're running the marathon, definitely they will give you water along the way. All right. Do not exercise when you sweat so much. You can have muscle cramps. No water input. Right. You have to drink water to prevent dehydration. So you say the function. Okay. Do this. Why? Do this. Why? Okay. Put in all these points. Okay. Next. You also have so many. Drink sport beverage. Isotonic drinks. Okay. Those that contain minerals, or we call it electrolytes, okay, at the correct, at the what they call same concentration with your body fluid. All right, to replace the mineral salt lost through sweating. When you sweat, you will lose the minerals, you will lose sodium. So excessive loss of sodium will give you muscle cramps when you sweat too much. You replace it back. Then also in the isotonic drink, not only because of the minerals, it also has got sugar. sweet, all right? It's got sugar there to give you glucose, to give you fuel to produce your energy from the cellular respiration. So it's not only because of mineral, all your isotonic drinks got sugar, got minerals. Okay, and also practice correct or safe exercise techniques. So follow instructions from anyone who's given you instructions how to use the equipment and all that. Don't simply use it because you may have injury lah. All right, to prevent physical injury on your muscles, especially when you're weightlifting or doing gym. The equipment, so many equipment, sometimes you don't even know how to use it. Ask, don't simply just pull and pull and pull, right? Something hit on you, right? Or you will dislocate your joint and all that. All right, wear proper attire, wear proper shoes, which is usually sport shoes. Okay, why? Because you have free unrestricted movement. Don't wear high heels. You will dislocate your ankle because of the height there. So make sure you don't wear work clothes, okay, when you want to exercise, because they're usually tight. So unrestricted movement gives you freedom and you feel that your exercise is done properly. Okay, any 5 points, okay? See 13 points already here. All right, last question. All right, I won't take long. Yeah, I know you need to study. So, Adam's fibula, you know fibula, which is the bone there? This is the bone at the lower leg. All right, the top one is femur. The one at the lower part now is your fibula and tibia and fibula. So, fracture in car accident. The doctor applied a cast on his leg. This one also no answer. This one no answer in your textbook. This one is KBAT also, right? Explain why this treatment is done for bone fracture. Why you need to put cement? You know, cement, a cast is the cement. Okay, in the end we call gyps or cement. Why when you patah kaki, patah tulang, why the doctor put a cement and cover up? Okay, like this. Why I need to cover up now? Okay, so it's hard, isn't it? Cement is hard. Okay, cement cast is made from materials like plaster or fiberglass. So it's hard. It's going to restrict your movement. You don't want that part to move. It can be easily molded to the shape of your injured leg because it's liquid. When you start, when you use it, it's liquid. All right? So you can mold it to any shape. The function is to immobilize the bone. You stop the bone from moving. Mengelakkan pergerakan tulang. You know why? Because when you have a fracture, especially the hairline fracture, the line is very, very fine. Your bone cells are actually alive. They are still producing new bone cells. So if you do not keep it moving, you immobilize it, it's faster for healing. Your bone cells, the osteos, the cells inside your bone marrow there, the bone, will start to produce new cells to cover up the wound. So the cement will immobilize the bone to allow the bone to align in correct position, to make sure that when you make new cells is to cover back the wound, isn't it? Your position is correct. If you keep on moving, your position is off already, position out already. So when it heal back, they cover back it and then it's in the wrong position. Wrong position, then you susah, right? You have pain here, it doesn't work properly. Your bones do not heal in, do not go back to the original place. So don't move it, let it heal by itself. Okay, hold the bone in place while they heal, when they heal. To prevent the use of fractured bone, so you don't use it. Okay, if you use it, keep on moving, you don't have this healing so fast. Your healing will not be so good. To support, to protect the injured bones and the soft tissue. All right, okay, to allow the bone cells to grow, to repair, to heal. Okay, the bone cells will carry out mitosis. Mitosis is production of cells to repair injured parts of the body. Okay, so this one prevent fractured bone from further injury. You don't move it, then you will be less injured. So any 5 points here. All right, so look at the marks again. Marks is 5, write at least 5, up to 6, up to 7, up to you. All right, but if your marks are only 3, don't go and put half a page of essay. All right, you're only wasting your time. Okay, definitely you would have reached 3 marks already. Then you won't need to look for any more points. All right, okay, so I will leave you at your revision. So I will see you again tomorrow at the same time. Yeah, 4 o'clock for one more final class. before you march into your war, your battleground on Thursday morning. All right. So I hope to see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. You can click on the same link again if you want to copy down the notes. Okay. So thank you everyone. I hope to see you again tomorrow. If you've got questions, please you can always direct to me. Let me give you my Telegram name. Yeah. Okay. So where is it? Wait. Okay. Right. Thank you everyone. Okay. Sue, Brandon. Thank you. Crystalline Stones. Okay. So see you and hope to see you tomorrow. Okay. Bye bye everyone. Happy revising tonight. Okay. Thank you. Bye.